Okay, I am here with Dena Lang from Waters International Realty in Austin, Texas. Dena is a sales manager and team lead for Waters, and thank you very much for being on here, Dena. Great to
Oh,
have
thank you for having me, Julie.
you. Yeah, you're welcome. And Dena, you actually went through the Resilient program a year ago
I
and had
did.
some pretty remarkable results. And now we're back at Waters and you're going through the training again.
Yes.
And part of the reason I desire to have you on here is because you told me some really amazing things that were happening for you since the first training a year ago. So, do you want to describe maybe a little bit about what life was like prior to having the technique of what we go through in the program and what it's done for you?
Absolutely. So prior to the program, I would say anxiety was extremely high. You're getting questions and problems coming at you in every direction, and the ability to learn how to breathe through them was pretty amazing. I was able to handle each and every situation without becoming overwhelmed. Prior to that, the anxiety was so high, you feel overwhelmed, you can't really answer anyone in a clear, logical way. Ever since the breathing, you can kind of step back, take a few breaths, relax, and handle each and every individual and situation.
It sounds like you were doing more responding versus reacting.
Correct.
Yeah, and I think that's probably one of the biggest things that people get from this is that anxiety and overwhelm has people think, or they don't think, they just go, and the higher thinking centers of the brain shut down. So we respond with just our natural anger or frustration or overwhelm. We can get snappy. So it sounds like you practice the technique enough to keep your nervous system calm,
Yes.
can respond instead of react.
And you keep your cool, your tone stays even, you don't get flustered or frustrated, and you're able to handle the situation and what's going on clearly.
Well, Dena, with your job title as team lead and sales manager, you're managing a team. How does this affect them when you're able to really be with them and connect with them without getting frustrated or angry?
Well, that's exactly it. You get to connect with them. They see you and your response and the clear direction that you can give them, so that coaching becomes much easier. If frustration is there, the coaching just really isn't there. They don't hear you, you don't hear them, there's no connection.
Has your team started to perform better?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. We're finally getting somewhere. We're starting to reach our goals, and I'm hoping that we're about to explode through our goals.
Well, I know that you guys just announced a huge partnership with Zillow. And so
Yes.
congratulations with that. You guys are growing exponentially. And as a manager and as a team lead, it's uber important to be very calm, cool, and collected with your team as you're working with them and inspiring them. I,
Absolutely.
I think, Dena, you really hit the nail on the head when you said you actually get to connect with them. Because when we're in anger, frustration, overwhelm, we can't connect. We're more concerned about what's going on over here. So,
Absolutely.
well, Dena, you also shared with me some health challenges that you've had over the past year and how learning the technique and all the tools going through the program has really helpful or has been very helpful for you. Is there
Yes.
anything you'd like to share about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually was diagnosed with some nerve damage that's in my head, in my brain, and the pain alone can cause anxiety just because uh, you're constantly dealing with pain that is also causing migraines. So to be able to function and be at work every day and help others to achieve, I had to overcome my pain. So while there was medication involved, I'm not really big on taking medication. So I had to come up with another solution, and honestly, the breathing technique, while I still have to take some, I am nowhere near what I was taking in the beginning.
Mm,
So I've literally gone from taking medication 4 times a day to once, maybe twice a day, just
fantastic.
through breathing and being able to relax and calm myself down. It alleviates the pain as well.
That's really beautiful. And I'm sure that's inspiring to a lot of people who are on medication with some side effects, knowing that you can have control over some of that pain that's happening. You know, you also shared something with me that I thought was really fantastic last week when we were together. You said because of all this that was happening, your headache was so bad in the morning and you wanted to come to work, but you were afraid that you wouldn't be able to. And you
Mhm.
stopped and sat and actually practiced the technique. And it gave you the energy and reduced the pain enough to where you could come to work and be and function at work.
Yes, I was extremely functionable that day, which was really exciting to see the difference. I had woken up with a migraine, and I did have to take my medication, but it still was at a level that was really intolerable to come to work that day. And I was tempted to, call my manager and let her know that this is probably not the day for me to come in. When I decided to I took an extra hour out of my day and about 20 minutes of 2 sessions of 10-minute sessions of relaxing, calming breathing, what I call cleansing breaths. And through that, I literally was able to get dressed, get ready, come to work, and literally handle meeting after meeting after meeting that day with no issues.
That's really beautiful. And for those that might be wondering, well, what is this technique and how does it work? It's a very simple technique, and really what it's doing is it's working on the autonomic nervous system to balance that. So a lot of pain that we feel is due to the tension and the stress that we feel in our body. And when we can relax our autonomic nervous system, that can go away. And then you become much better at your task and how you're functioning. So really, really appreciate that. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Anything else that you're gaining a benefit from after learning all this?
Well, honestly, sharing it. So, not only at work and sharing it with others and telling them to kind of go through the process to just calm down, take a few minutes, some really deep breaths with positive affirmations with those breaths, and watching their changes. So, I've done it with some other employees on my team as well as at home with my daughter, who also had some medical issues, and that helped her overcome some of her pain and anxiety that she was having.
Fantastic. Well, I love it. And you're just such a pleasure to work with and such an inspiration for so many. And I just appreciate what you're doing and your diligence in practicing and your level of commitment. And I really find that when people are extremely committed, that's when all the changes take place.
Most definitely. This isn't a one time and you're done. This becomes part of your life.
Yeah. Yeah, and what I hear a lot of people say is they actually get their time back in their life because it doesn't
Uh,
take them as long to do the tasks that they had to do before.
Absolutely. And it's clear everything's done a little bit faster because you're actually able to see the solution faster.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, Dena, thank you so much for coming on and sharing a little bit about your story and how this has impacted you. I greatly appreciate it. Again, you're an absolute pleasure to work with. Love working with your team as well, and congratulations to all your success.
Oh, thank you, Julie. You've brought a whole new world to my life.
I'm happy I could do that. You're very welcome. Okay, well, thanks very much, and we'll talk soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Julie.
Okay.